Hello, everyone.
Hello.
All right, Group A. Group A. Come on, Group A. Let's go. Everybody, Group A. Come on. All of Group A, yeah. It's all of Group A sort of thing. We're gonna. Oh, that's a little long video, but we're going to. You got the GIF, right? Cool. Okay. Each one of us is going to tell you about each one of them. I'm just the facilitator.
No, it's actually Tanya and Ainsley.
Oh, Ainsley. Oh, you have to stand up for some moral support.
Moral support.
Okay.
Moral support, yeah.
Just say, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
And if you ever have anything to add, just feel free to jump in. But all right.
Can you start for me?
Yeah. Hans is going to jump in and just kind of give a brief little overview or something. But this is Group A, and this is our poster, and we're going to explain parts of it.
Hi everyone. Well, we're Group A, and our remit was vocabulary. Sorry, it's a bit small. We didn't realise. We didn't think actually. Vocabulary. We thought of a lesson, a subject that we could kind of come up with that would really be suitable for teaching vocabulary. We came up with something that's like really rich, which is clothing. This kind of topic is great because there's so many clothes, and it's also quite amenable to being expanded into colours. Also, you can use it again for teaching grammar as well. Like, what is someone wearing? What is someone doing? And also, even more extension could be, what was somebody wearing when you last saw them, doing the past tense. So it's a good topic. But we had to think about actually just teaching the vocabulary. So that's really why we came down, but I was just explaining you can use it for other things. There's lots and lots of opportunity and lots of different ways to vary the difficulty of the target vocab. So we decided our theme was going to be clothing, and then we thought, well, what do we want to do with it? Well, vocabulary, you want to teach new words, but you can't just teach new words and just say, read this word, read this word, read this word, and just repeat it back, because there's absolutely no context. So we decided, how are we going to do it? So basically we did the outline of our steps to theme. That's what we did, the theme. Then how are we going to get there? Prior knowledge, activation. You need to know what your students already know. Otherwise, you're just fumbling around in the dark. So there are various things that you can do for this, different activities. Also, when you're doing that, you can also introduce the new vocabulary. And the reason you do that, you don't just want to give them just only new vocabulary because they're completely in the dark. And also they have no idea what you're going to be doing. So if you use their existing vocabulary and new vocabulary, they're actually more comfortable. They know it's just more of the same. They already know some of the stuff. Oh, sorry, some of the stuff, very technical term there.
Terms.
Valuable, good, the stuff. From there, you go to your main activity. This is basically just, every class is almost like this. But the main activity, again, you have to choose it quite carefully. You want to make sure it's not too difficult, but you don't want to make it too easy, because we want them to learn stuff. We want them to learn things. Here we want them to learn vocabulary. So you must put in the things that they don't know. You've got to challenge them. If you don't challenge them, you're not really doing your job. So you do want to make it difficult. So if your co-teacher says to you, but it's too difficult, they don't know all the words, you say, great. Because now they can learn something. They can learn new stuff. Things. Vocabulary. I keep on saying stuff, sorry. Things. Yeah, the items. So the main activity, you have to really think carefully about what you're going to do. You need to think about your students' level of ability first. You also need to think about how they learn. I approach this from a junior high school viewpoint, and I've also had to do this teaching adults when I was in Bushiban in Taipei. It's all the basic same steps, but you have to know your students pretty well to be able to choose the right activity. Different ages of students they're enticed and they're motivated by different methods. Adults are very, very easy. I said to the other guys, adults are very, very easy because they're self-motivating. They're the ones actually paying for it, so they really want to know. But small children, which I really don't like, but small children, I had to go over to these guys because I know what I would do in a junior high school, but it's actually very, very different from what some our teammates' ideas would have been. So we decided on the main activity, and we decided that we were going to focus on elementary school, grade maybe around 4 or 5. So my contribution really to this was to kind of like just do the steps and make other suggestions. But the actual activities, because I'm not very good with these small children and what motivates them, was left to the other guys to make more suggestions. So that main step was that's the main activity where you're actually going to be using these new words in sentences, simple sentences, because you don't want to overload them with both grammar and vocabulary. So we just use the same sentence, what was it, that word you used? Lacune. Lacune, yes. Oh, I know something you don't know. This is when you say he or she is wearing an That's
Fill in the
blanks. Fill in the blanks. Lacune, yeah. We had to Google it, but it's okay. And then the final step. the final step is review and assess. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, I'm on video, sorry. Review and assess. So you actually want to know that what you did was effective. And if it was effective, then you can do it again, and you can probably use it for different levels. If it's not so successful, well, hopefully they've still learned something, but then that's where your reflection comes in, and you can think again, okay, what didn't work about that? And you can also assess their learning. And that's my basic steps for every class that I teach. So, but I wasn't so like on the ins and outs of like little paper dolls and stuff. So I'll hand you over to Talia to Matthew first, because
Yeah. So Ainsley was so kind. No, I'm not. Ainsley was so kind to give you the theory behind our class design. And it's a really neat lesson. It's kind of it's centered around the task. The students are giving a task, and they will have to present it at the end, and that is how we would assess them. But to give you the actual praxis of the class, we have a wonderful teacher who's going to explain all the awesomeness of our activities.
Why do you say things in such a way that really puts pressure on my heart?
That's why I do it. I know. It'll just make it more interesting.
That's nothing.
No pressure.
Okie dokie. Hello, everyone. My name is Talia. For our group, we put together a wonderful vocabulary activity. It starts with, now I need this. At the beginning of the lesson, the students walk into the room. They don't know what we're going to be studying that day. So we want to get their minds working and thinking and guessing. Oh, okay, cool. I thought you didn't close it.
This one, right? I didn't close it. It's
Okay, right.
Here we go. So an image like this would be on the board when the kids come in. So they sit down. And the teacher, maybe not obviously, they would be overdressed appropriately for that day's lesson. Okay, so the teacher would come in, oh, what do you think we're going to be doing today? and the kids might start, what do you think we're going to be talking about? And what's the idea in your head that we're going to be talking about? Models, fashion. What is fashion? That's a high level word. We're in elementary school. Tell me, what is fashion?
Catalog.
Catalog. What? You go to Bushy Bank.
Coat coucher.
Clothes, yeah. So
Oh.
that is when the teacher will start to say, yes, we're talking about clothes. Let me see what kind of clothes we have. So maybe we have on something on our hands. We'll pull them off. And it is could be a glove. But we were thinking, sock. So we will put something on our hands and it will be, so what is this? And maybe some students know it, maybe some students don't. And we would do this step by step, pulling off different levels of clothes that are, yeah, we would strip tease for the kids.
Extra layers of clothes.
So we would take off the clothes and set them out for the kids to see, and we would see how much of the vocabulary they know, how much they don't. Some things would be common things like jacket. Most students know this word, so everybody could have some type of response. So we could test their prior knowledge while we are introducing new vocabulary at the same time. Now, after the introduction period, the teacher would prepare a model, such as a paper doll, okay? And we would use the lacune. He is wearing, she is wearing. Something very simple so they don't have to think about it. Because we're not focused on that sentence pattern right now. We're focused on the vocabulary and they need to learn those words. So the students would see the teacher with their fully completed paper doll with the clothing that the teacher has put on the model. And we have the jacket. And then we would put the paper jacket on top of the paper doll. She is wearing a jacket. Everyone say it with me.
She is wearing a jacket.
Yes, yes. She is wearing a jacket. Take the jacket off. She is not wearing a jacket. Everyone say it with me.
She is not wearing a jacket.
Then put it back on. She is wearing a jacket. This would try to match the act of putting the clothes on the paper doll with the word wearing. Remember, wearing is not the focus, but we want them to understand the idea of it when they are putting their clothes on their dolls and they're dressing their dolls, because they're going to have to later explain it when they have to do it themselves. That will be the later activity one later. But anyway, each child will be given time. This is the fun part where they get to be tactile. They will get a choice of a paper boy or girl, and they can color their clothing, and that would take some time for the children to do. It's fun. This way they can personalize it. Not everyone wants to be given a doll that looks a certain way, especially speaking as a woman of color. I know that one for a fact. So everyone has a chance to decorate, Naruto or whatever they want. Pretty princess, pony, I don't know, make her pink, I don't know, whatever. So they decorate their clothing and then cut them out and prepare for their presentation. I want to make sure I'm not skipping anything. Oh, do you want to take it over?
You do fine.
Okay, so after they prepare their activity, then we will go over the words again. This time it would be more on the board. Okay, everyone, what is this? Or who can remember whatever, blah, 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 going through the words just to give them a refresh before they have to do it, to try to take away some of the fear. Maybe they can play with each other's. And we decided they are not going to describe their own doll. Okay, they are going to, maybe someone at one group is going to hold up the doll and they can point it out, this, and someone in another group will be the ones to say he or she is wearing blah, 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 blah. Now, we did create a word bank of 8 words. 5 of the words would be new, and 3 of the words would be old. So 5 items of clothing that the children would be able to choose would be something familiar that they're used to, that they already know, and the other 5 would be new words. So this way, the lower levels would have an opportunity to interact and feel confident and be able to participate in the main activity of creating the doll and naming the items of clothing using the lacune, which would be on the board for the students to read if they were able to read it, or just have their classmate remind them.
Thank you very much. 5 minutes left. Oh, we perfectly timed that. 15 minutes. Our presentation was 15, not 20, but this is because we understand we got off to a late start and we want to get back on track. We're concerned about you guys. All right, that was awesome. Okay, our next group.